one of the most important things that we really have to talk about every summer, and really we're really kicking it off right now, which is mowing. We're going to talk to us a little bit. What are we telling everybody? Everybody calls in. What are we talking? I know we're talking about water, and we already talked about that, but
I beg of you. I beg of you.
Yeah, please.
Please.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing to do to have a beautiful lawn.
Well, it depends on how hot it is.
Yeah, that's so true. But it's one of two of the easiest things to do to have a beautiful lawn is to mow every week. We have so many people who mow bi-weekly, and that's fine as long as you change your expectations completely, because what happens is you're experiencing mower stress where you're cutting off so much of that plant at one time that it's brown.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of calls of people who think that their lawn is dead after a treatment, and it just so happens they also got a bi-weekly mowing, or it was the third week and they had their lawn mowed and it just really just cut off the color. Yeah. Fortunately, that's not a permanent, injury. Yeah. It's just an injury and it will recover. It's not a problem. But I don't think a lot of people understand that how important mowing is. It's like a haircut. It just helps maintain a healthy lawn. So,
yeah, and I think people just forget, but those blades underneath the mower have to be sharp.
Yeah.
And that's another issue that we probably actually don't even really talk about it enough, is to ask clients. Like, if you're having a service done, they're probably sharpening their blades on a regular basis. But if you're doing it yourself and you bought your mower 3 years ago and you've never sharpened the blades, I mean, this can cause real damage.
Mm-hmm. And again, like, going back to the mowing thing, I understand that sometimes you have to make decisions, financially. Like, I can't have a mower come every single week. Right. That's fine. Just change your expectations of what your lawn is going to look like and be okay with it. Your threshold has to change. That's all. That's all that has to happen. It's okay if, it's just, but for the best, if you want the best thing to do, is weekly.
Yeah. It just solves all the problems we're talking about. Everything, disease, watering, like all those things just are.
Even weed control.
Yeah, weed control. It's hard when you get that thatch buildup, which we've got a great podcast. I wrote it down. It's episode 11 on bagging clippings, But, you really, if you're doing it weekly, you don't even have to do that. It's just extra effort. That you
shouldn't bag clippings if you're mowing every week.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just it's just information people just don't understand. They think they always should bag, but you really don't need to if you're doing it weekly.
What the goal is, and this is true for anything in turf grass, not only are we looking to sort of prioritize turf health, because that's our job, right? We're looking to put out the appropriate amount of nutrition. We do it at the appropriate time. But what it comes down to from a maintenance perspective, and that goes for mowing and watering, is making sure that you're reducing the amount of injury that the turf has to sustain. Because every time it's hurt, it knows that it needs those leaves, so it's going to expend as much energy as it can as it is required, all the way to the point where they may run out of it eventually, to replace those leaf tissues because they know they need them.
Right, and it's the exact thing when we have people call in who say, my neighbor's lawn looks different than mine.
Right.
It can come down to something as simple as their watering and mowing practices, which, generally I have no idea what those are when I'm talking to somebody, but it just can come down to something as simple as that change, just weekly mowing, regular watering.
Yeah. And whenever I think of that, I always think of you, Jared. Like, that was probably, I feel like we still talk about this, your hardest transition from managing a golf course where you literally had control over everything that you possibly could with a lawn, right? To coming to on the residential side where you really have just one little slice of the puzzle or the pie, and everything else you've got to count on your partner, whether that's the mowing service, the client, property manager, to handle the rest.
Yeah. As a person who is a helper by nature, though, and likes to try to help and educate people, when we get a really receptive client, somebody that really is, they know, especially people that are kind of in the know, they're really, some of my favorite clients through time have been people that are really, really into this stuff. Yeah. And they're fascinating to talk to. And I love, it fills my cup to explain things to people at whatever level they would desire that I explain it to them at.